Hi, I'm Michael Jackson Heimos with Santa Monica's Morgan Wixon Theater. Morgan Wixon audiences will recognize AnnaLisa Erickson from roles like Florence Foster Jenkins in Glorious, Mrs. Lovett in Sweeney Todd, or Mrs. Pennywise in Urinetown. She works all over town at many theaters, the Met, the Rogue Theater Machine, the Odyssey, the Hudson, the Zagorot, and I am so excited to get to speak to her because she's the reason I came to the Morgan Wixon. She's my theater angel. Hi, AnnaLisa. Thanks for doing this with me today.
Hello, Michael. Good to see your face, even if it's just virtual.
So, how did you find your way to the Morgan Wixon?
Oh, gosh, it's been many moons. Like many actors, I walked in the door and auditioned. I think the very first show I did there, I was asked to step in for someone who wasn't available. So I had a couple of days to walk in as Philia in Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum.
How did you first get started in theater to begin with?
Well, I started by dancing. I took ballet since the age of 4. I was a very, very, very shy child. Um, I loved the stage, but I didn't dare talk. In junior high, I was a stage manager. And then in high school, I stayed and did some stage managing. And one of the girls in the adding machine was also a cheerleader, and she had a conflict, and the director kind of asked her to be successful on the cheerleading squad a few days before we opened, and he threw me in, and I love being thrown in. It gives you very little time to think, and you just have to do. And I have, obviously, as a stage manager, knew the show, so I survived and played Daisy Diana Dorothea Dofour in Elmer Rice's The Adding Machine, and had my first kiss on stage. Yeah, he was cute too.
So, the word shy is not something I would use to describe you. Wh- When did you not? When did you change and not become so shy?
I think, I think a lot of actors are shy people, but then you put them in another, um, put them on stage or in front of a camera, and they're another. We can be another person and try to empathize with some other character and be fearless within those boundaries.
Fearless is a great word because I think that the shows I've seen you do, you're always so fearless on stage and in auditions and during rehearsals, whether it's Mrs. Tottendale last fall in Drowsy Chaperone or Mrs. Lovett or Pennywise.
And it's a privilege to be the politicians in their wisdom saw that there should be a law. The politicians taxed the toilets and made illegal public urination.
What makes you so fearless to just let go and do it? Because I'm always a little shy on at auditions, and you're just like out there giving your all. Is that something innate or something you had to learn how to do?
I think because it's like I breathe when I'm on stage more than anywhere else. You feel safe there. And auditions are kind of nerve-wracking for me, but callbacks, when you have someone else to work with and you're talking to someone and you're discovering things together. I remember during the audition for Glorious, one of the women I read with, we genuinely connected in the callback, and we just laughed. And David Laffey, when I auditioned for Urinetown, Valerie Rochelle was very open to our give and take, and he was so funny. And we wound up doing some John Wayne impersonation in the middle of some scene. And every time I'd do something, he'd go farther. And it again, it depends on the constructs of the play, Glorious, she's a very large, very over-the-top woman, but it comes out of her pain and love of singing, and it comes from a different place.
Is everything all right?
What?
Oh,
Yes.
you're saying a car. A car.
I actually love being able to be free and large, but my favorite moments are the ones that very few audience members ever notice because they're small.
Which role of the Morgan Wixon was most memorable?
I would say Mrs. Lovett and Sweeney Todd because I ran nonstop. It was such a fabulous, challenging show with such specific direction and costumes and musical direction.
Where the people keep avoiding. No, you don't. Heaven knows I try, sir, but there's no one comes in even to inhale. Right to us, would you like a drop of ale? Well, he drank. No, it's bank cashier. Never really sold. Maybe it was old.
Have you any beetle?
Next week, so I'm told. Beetle isn't bad till you smell it and notice how well it's been greased. Stick to priest.
You've worked at so many theaters around town besides the Morgan Wixon. I'm wondering if you have any advice for young actors on how to find all those auditions.
Oh, there are so many ways now, besides looking at Backstage and Actors Access and now casting. You just have to define exactly what kind of roles you're looking for, and it also helps to be nice to the people that you work with, because if there's someone you love, like I met you, Michael, at Knightsbridge, I just wanted to work with you anywhere I could. And luckily I've had different people that I've worked with that seem to want to keep me around. And the Ziggurat Theater Company was one where I auditioned for a show, and they were very smart. They did not ask people to join the company until they'd worked with them during the run of a show, because that's when you see the good, the bad, the ugly of people and how hard they work.
You're one of those Morgan Wixon members who participate off stage just as much as you participate on stage. And I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about your volunteer activities at the Morgan Wixon.
Oh, there's so many ways to be part of the community. I like to usher. I often usher with members of casts from old casts. I was supposed to usher for Wild Party. I was really looking forward to seeing it, and I will soon. I like to work on costumes, even though I am not the best seamstress. I enjoy being the comic relief and stitching a hem and ironing things, and there's so many ways to contribute there, and it's fun up in the costume shop. And it's also fun on stage, painting sets and helping with lights. It's always nice to be, you appreciate literally from the ground up as an actor when you help build a set or you paint something.
So I guess my last question is there a role that you've not yet done that you would like to do next?
Besides Mrs. Lovett again, I would say Princess Puffer in The Mystery of Edwin Drood, because she was played by Cleo Lane, who is my spirit animal, the voice and acting from heaven. And I love that show, and it would be, hint, hint, Mr. President, it would be a very good show for the Morgan Wixon because of the proscenium, and it involves the audience. It's like a music hall, and it's a lot of fun, and very few people do that show.
Well, I thank you so much for joining me today. This was a lot of fun. I really appreciate your time.
And I appreciate seeing your face.
Stay healthy during this COVID-19, what do we call it? Safe at home. And I'm glad we have Zoom to talk to each other.
It is safer at home, and I am looking forward to seeing everyone on stage and in the audience soon when we can get back together.
And we'll see you on stage soon too. Take care.
Thank you, Michael.